Welcome to City on the Move. It's another glorious Monday. We are so excited to have Amy Rogers here with us today, and she's going to tell us about the Hazardous Waste Day that's coming up and the Fun Park Collab. I don't think I said that right, but that's perfectly fine. And then, so obvious, we have Scott Morris, City Assistant.
Assistant City Manager.
He got it, yeah. And so, Amy, tell us a little bit about what you do and how long you've been with the City of Enid.
I am the environmental specialist for the city, so I work for the Public Utilities Department. So basically, I just make sure that the city is following all environmental regulations that we need to. But then we also do outreach to try to encourage recycling and responsible disposal of their waste.
And that's where the event comes in play. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But first, we're going to talk about some road closures. And so we do have a lot going on within the city. We've had some things wrap up that was really exciting. And if you haven't had a chance to drive over those brand new roads, take a chance and do that. As you're going and you see like the different color and pavement, that's the brand new work that they're doing, and it is spectacular. It is so much better than what it was before, and I am so grateful for that. And especially the Emerson project that just wrapped up, that was fantastic too. A couple of things that we have going on is we do have they're doing panel repairs over on Cheyenne, and that'll wrap up on the 18th.
I think they finished it up and they're letting it cure right now. I drove by earlier this morning and it looks like all the concrete's ready, but the roads are still closed off while the concrete's curing. So it should be very soon and they'll be open. That's
always exciting when they finish early.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. And then we also have a road closure on North 10th, and that is their complete reconstruction of the road. And that's one of those that I was talking about. That's going to be really nice once they get that done. That's expected to wrap up on May 31st. And then we also have, over on South 10th, they have some construction going on over there. And I believe that is concrete repairs. And so then we also have another reconstruction over on North 11th Street, and that is going to be an intersection closure, and that's going to wrap up on May 8th. And it looks like with the weather, obviously these are all weather permitting, and so weather can make a delay. We do have the rehabilitation on 81. Scott, I know you know more about this than I do, so I'm going to let you take it from here.
Well, on North 81 all the way up to Carrier Road on Highway 45. I think there was an article in the paper last week. So it's a multi-million-dollar project that Oklahoma Department of Transportation is doing. So we appreciate every dollar that gets spent from the state or from the federal government that impacts Enid. So just like we always like to say, orange cones means progress. And so just be patient with those guys as they wrap some work up on North 81 Highway.
Amy, I love your shirt.
Thank you.
It's so nice. I like it. And you know what? It goes along with the event that's going to happen. I'm going to let you take it from here and tell us all about this event.
Well, on May the 4th, which is why they're kind of going with the Star Wars thing, because it's May the 4th, we are having our 5th annual Household Hazardous Waste Collection. So this is the 5th year that people can bring on this one day from 9 to 1 any sort of waste they have around their house they want to get rid of. I get lots of calls for fuels they don't know how to get rid of, or pesticides, paints, pharmaceuticals, anything like that. So this is one day where we collect it all up and we have a company dispose of it responsibly for us. But this year we had to move it to Crossland Park, which just happened to coincide with the Parks and Recreation Department. They are going to have an environmental fun fair on the same day on the north end of Crossland Park, and we're going to be doing the collection on the south end of Crossland Park. So it's just, we're taking up the whole park for environmental awareness, and up north the Park and Recreation is doing little things like how to recycle certain things into bird feeders and they're going to have seeds to plant for flowers and games and food trucks and that sort of thing to go along on their end of it. So
That's exciting. So you take everything?
we take, there's some things we can't take that are hazardous, any kind of hazardous waste or commercial from businesses. This is for the residents, not the commercial. Ammunitions, explosive, or medical waste that's going to be hazardous to the people collecting it. But everything else, oil-based paints, pesticides, pool chemicals, anything like that. And if anybody has a question, if they can bring something, just call us and we'd be happy to let them know.
So let me get this straight. If I have extra paint or extra aerosol cans, old antifreeze, you know, as I'm doing spring cleanup and I have some extra Roundup, you know, that for some reason I'm not going to put on my yard, these are all things that I can take to the Earth Day celebration on May the 4th, and it won't cost me any money.
Nope, it's
It's completely free to Enid residents to come in and as you do spring cleanup, to get rid of some of these chemicals that we don't want to put in the trash container.
And we don't want them in the trash trucks that could cause fires. They could cause fires at the landfill when the chemicals mix. So yes, that's a good point. Also, I forgot to mention that we've added recycling to this, just to bring awareness to our recycling program. So we've had a really good response with people bringing in cardboard and plastic, aluminum cans, and that sort of thing too.
I'll tell you what, I'm a little embarrassed about it, but we drink a lot of pop and energy drinks or whatever at my house, and so over the last several months we keep all of our aluminum in a separate deal, and we take it over to over by the service station. There's at the groom closet they have a place where you can put in it. The aluminum goes towards SPCA.
Wonderful.
And so we dump our aluminum in there, and I know our recycle center takes aluminum. They take, what else do they take? They take paper, they take cardboard, they take tin, they will do old electronics, they take all kinds of things like that as well.
And number 1 and number 2 plastics as well.
That's right.
Yep.
Can you explain what number 1 and number 2 are?
Yes, if you look at any plastic container, like a laundry container or your water bottles, if you look usually on the bottom, but sometimes on the label, it'll have the triangle arrow symbol and there'll be a number inside there. So if it's a number 1 or a number 2, we can take that. But thinner plastic sometimes are a number 5, and our company doesn't recycle those. So that's how you can tell which kind of plastic you have.
Somebody said you take radioactive waste. What's that?
We don't take radioactive waste. That's one of our hazardous.
Don't take waste.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Well, good thing we cleared that up.
No, we do not want that. Nope.
Okay. Perfect. Well, if they have any questions, then they can visit our website at enid.org/Earth Day celebration, and that is on Saturday, May 4th at Crossland Park. And so that's going to be so fun. So can you tell us about the fun fair?
Yes, the fun fair is going to be on the north side so that we can kind of keep the kids away from the chemicals. And that's where they'll have food trucks and games, and that's crafts and activities for the kids.
That's fun.
Yep.
That's so exciting. And so we're going to move on into some of our other stuff that we do. We do have employment opportunities with the city, and we're very competitive in our wages. And so, as you can see, some of them have closed, and so but some of them still are open. And so, if you qualify for one, or you know someone who does, then you can visit our website at enid.org, and you can read the job descriptions and get that application in before the deadline. And then we also have MAPC meeting tonight, and that's at 6 in the council chambers. Scott, do you want to tell them more?
You bet. Come on in. Check out MAPC. There's several items on tonight's meeting. A lot of times these meetings are they're very quick. It doesn't take very long for this group to review, a simple lot split or something like that. Tonight there's going to be, it says that it's a use by review on our agenda, but really there wasn't a very good category for it. Our ordinance says that this item needs to be studied by our Metropolitan Area Planning Commission and then brought for consideration before the Mayor and Board of Commissioners. And there is a company that wants to have a concrete batch plant, and our ordinance doesn't have it lists that very specifically, that this has to be studied and approved because a concrete batch plant doesn't go just everywhere. But this particular example they have, it's already zoned for heavy industrial. It's on 54th Street. It seems like an appropriate place. So there's going to be they're going to study that item tonight. I'm going to do a presentation on affordable housing in Enid and what some options could be. We're looking into the idea of some new manufactured homes in certain places in Enid where it might make sense. So we're going to look at some options there and see what the Planning Commission thinks about some of those ideas. And then we'll also discuss kind of the makeup of the MAPC, and then they're going to take a look and decide if there needs to be any amendments to the Garfield County zoning regulations that were created for the areas in the county that are outside of city limits, but they're within the Planning Commission jurisdiction. So there's some zoning in that area that has that really that document hasn't been amended for 61 years. So there's a possibility that maybe some things have happened since 1963, like maybe we've landed on the moon, or there's cell phones, or there's different types of technology. So I make jokes, but ordinances always need to be looked at from time to time. Even a lot of our own zoning ordinance within the city of Enid, doesn't take into consideration where we are as far as the types of housing that we need that could be affordable for people. And so they're going to take a look and decide if they want to try to make some amendments to that document. So you're welcome to join us at 6 o'clock, and we'll see you there. Tomorrow night we have our council meeting. We have a study session that begins at 5 o'clock. Come on and join us in the council chambers at City Hall, and we're going to hear an update from Mike Cooper about VDA. We're going to get an update about the Kaw Lake Water Supply Program, and maybe an updated timetable for completion on that. And then we are going to hear about a couple of other items that are on the main agenda, but they're going to have a chance to talk about them a little bit more. One of them is a mural for, and some people may not realize, our City Hall at 401 West Gary is actually called the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Complex. And so our PACE committee has put together and looked at some proposals, and they would like to have a mural put on the building in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so tonight or tomorrow night they'll be looking at that in study session, and then also in consent there's an item to approve that project as well. So there'll be a chance for them to talk about it and get that going. Also, the last thing in the study session is an update on the Spark Renewables project out at our city landfill, and there's a little change on the layout of how they need to do their structure, and so that'll be talked about in study session, and it's also in our regular session in consent item. So there's a lot to talk about there just in the study session. Our main meeting starts at 6:30. You're welcome to join us. You can even sign up for public comment if you would like. The items to talk about tonight, it will be the first meeting for Ward 1 Councilwoman Cheryl Patterson. So she'll be sworn in. There's a lot of items in item 4 where we'll make some appointments to different boards and things like that. There is a hearing scheduled for a use by review that was done on a sports complex under the private clubhouse use by review. So they're going to be looking at that as a hearing and as an appeal. And then there's no administrative items, so the rest of them are consent. And we'll be approving some claims like normal. There will be an executive session, and that's about it. That wraps it up. So come out and join us. See what's going on in Enid.
Absolutely. And you can also stay connected with everything that's going on within the city of Enid by downloading City Connect. And if you have any questions, give us a call, 616-7258. And then we are everywhere because you are everywhere. And we know that you want to stay connected, and so we want to connect with you. If you need anything, then just let us know.
And I wanted to take a special moment and just say thank you for being with us today. What you do is very important to keep Enid safe,
yes,
and to give people an opportunity to take care of some of these items and do it in a responsible manner, because like you said, it is a danger to public health for you to put these items in your trash can.
And to your children and pets at home too when you have this stuff in your house. Yep. Thank you.
So thanks for being here. Thanks for giving all of the citizens an opportunity to do the right thing with disposing of some of their chemicals.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Bye, Enid. Have a good day.